lot of times when we think about brainstorming ideas, no, this is straight trash. Alrighty. What's up, my Diversity in Cinema Academy fam? I'm Theta Catalan, and this is the place to be if you're an aspiring filmmaker, video creator, and screenwriter. In my first behind the scenes video, the idea that I'm doing for this 10-part series, I had a ton of ideas for leveling up your film business. However, I eventually started rambling, okay? Those videos could have easily topped 25 minutes, and I really don't want to hold you that long. I mean, unless it's absolutely necessary. Nevertheless, there's a ton of great information that I didn't share, and I think that you may find it useful, or at the very least, just fun to watch. So here's some more info on generating ideas and the bloopers. Now let's take a look at several techniques that I use during the idea stage of creating leveling up your film business. Now it's going to be broken down into 3 parts, and each part have several techniques that you can use to help you during your idea stage. Whether that is you are creating a freelance business where you are, shooting content for clients, or whether that's you starting a movie project. These ideas will help, and I'm going to show you how. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button and the notifications so you can get notified every single time I upload a video to share with you. Okay, so now let's get into this. All right, so the first technique that you should... I'm gonna start over. This whole video clip I don't like. Don't edit yourself, because that's what a lot of us do sometimes. No, that's gonna be too silly. They're gonna think I'm corny or whatever. Okay, so now the first section that we're gonna discuss is the brainstorming section. My computer froze on me. So... Now, I know a lot of us, we have been coming up with ideas and brainstorming because we learned how to do that all the way since grade school, right? But a lot of times when we think about brainstorming, we're only thinking about like,
oh, I got an idea, let me jot it down in my notebook.
And boom, that's it. But what is the method that you are using to brainstorm? Because that's how sometimes we'll be like,
oh gosh, I am having,
what is it? You're having a brain fart, or you good Lord. When you're coming up with all those brilliant ideas, just go for it. Just write whatever, have fun with it, whether it's silly or not. And that's whether it's with the business or whether that is with, if it's, for your movie. So say for instance, for my business, when I decided to come up with leveling up your film, leveling up your film business, I was like, okay, now what exactly do I want to teach a course about, and what do I want? And then when I figured out it's gonna be leveling up your film business, and I'm like, okay, so now what do I want in this course? And that's when you just start purging all your ideas and just letting them all out. And so that's what we're going to get to in the next section on how do you figure out what kind of ideas that you want to do. Okay, so when I came up with my ideas for the course, I was like, what do aspiring filmmakers or video creators or even screenwriters, what do they want to know? So one of the biggest things is narrowing down on your niche. Most people, like I said, is all over the place. So that is why I wanted to make sure that I help aspiring filmmakers hone down on exactly what they want to do. So we have a lesson that's all about what you're passionate about. And then once you figure out what you're passionate about, is like, okay, how do you start a production company? And so we go into that and what you need to do in order to get your LLC. And I walk people step by step through this. But then once you start your company, is like you need to get a business bank account. And then after that, you may need to work with an entertainment attorney. So I talk about some of the legal things that you need to handle during development of your project. And then I also was like, okay, once they understand what they need to do to start up a business, and now what all do they need in order to like raise funding. So we go over funding, and then I was like, okay, but then they need a budget, right? So they need to do a budget. But then how do you get a budget? Well, first you need to do a shooting schedule so you can know what all equipment, how much you need, how many days do you need it, how much time you need, talent, and all this stuff. I go over that so people can get an understanding that all of this dictates how much you need in your budget. And then also, before we even get to any of that, you know, we talk about one of the things that I focus on a lot in the course is having a marketable idea. Because if you don't have a marketable idea, all of the rest of the stuff is like a waste of time. So I spend some time really honing in on that. And so these are the things, again, that when I was coming up with my ideas, I was like, what are the things that would really help an aspiring filmmaker level up their film business? Oh, and also I wanted to give, you know, aspiring filmmakers and video creators, or just honestly anybody who wanted to get into the filmmaking business, I wanted to give them an idea of what they needed to do to, you know, create a business plan and a pitch deck. Because without any of that, you're not going to be able to make many moves without that. So that's why I really believe that's so important, because a lot of times when people reach out to me, they don't have any of this stuff, and I was like, nobody's not going to take you seriously if you don't have anything to show. So you need to get that in your mindset now, that you have to have something to show to people in order for them to take you seriously. Otherwise, you're just somebody, you know, pitching them your pipe dream. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know in the comment section what was your favorite part of this video. Oh, and if you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button. It's right there, and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of the great content I'll be providing for you. And if you missed the video, 5 things beginner filmmakers should know before starting a video production, check it out now. Oh, and be sure to follow Diversity in Cinema Academy on Instagram, where I provide even more great tips. And if you want even more resources, head on over to Diversity in Cinema Academy's website and sign up for my newsletter, where you will get even more great tips and offers, plus a free webinar about the filmmaking process. It's like a boot camp, y'all. So I'm gonna get on that. So again, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.